it's Shova from Just Go Places, and I was just in the Shetlands to watch one of the best festivals I have ever been to, and that is Up Hellya in Scotland. It is a end of Yule festival, which happens every January, and it harks back to the Shetland Islanders' deep Viking roots. Let's check it out, shall we? So what is Up Hellya? Well, it's a relatively new tradition. I mean, relatively new in a country that is thousands of years old. For Up Hellya, about 1,000 men and women, now that it's been allowed since 2023, proceed through the streets of Lerwick and burn a replica Viking galley, which is a tradition that the Vikings had to bury their chieftains. Soldiers returned from the Napoleonic Wars in the continent in the mid-19th century and were bored to tears when they got back to their hometowns, realized again how cold and dark and boring life was in the northern part of Scotland, and started to get into trouble. So they would get into, contests rolling flaming barrels down the street, and it was all a bit of a menace. Up Hellya started from these roots when the good citizens of Lerwick decided enough was enough and they didn't want flaming tar barrels rolling down their streets by drunken young men who were bored. So it became more organized, and eventually the Victorians shaped it into what we have now today, which is a pretty organized festival. People are divided into squads, and these groups have their own disguises. The word geyser comes from disguises because they're all in disguise, get it? The squads are led by the Jarl squad, who in itself is led by their leader, the Geyser Jarl. The Jarl squad are the only ones who are allowed to wear Viking costume, and being chosen as Geyser Jarl is a big deal and an honor of our years of service in Up Hellya festivity. So I'm going to divide the proceedings at Up Hellya Day into 3 parts. The first is the morning procession, when the Jarl squad has a procession through the town of Lerwick, and you see the galley and all the men in their Viking glory. And the second part is the evening bonfire, when they march, all 1,000 geysers march through the streets of Lerwick. So the evening procession is a sight to behold. In the dark streets of Lerwick, there's 1,000 men with torchlight following a Viking galley which gets burnt in a field. And after that, the real party begins, and the geysers and invitees are off to private parties that last throughout the night and well into the next morning. The morning procession starts around 9:30, and people start lining up around 8:30 a.m. to watch the parade. And you can get a great view either by the Esplanade or by the market cross in front of the Tourist Bureau in Lerwick. And these are great spots to watch the parade happen. We met quite a few people. Everyone's friendly and everyone's having a good time. These guys from Norway had started their celebrations early and were only happy to sing for us.
Hei fara med sjølvesikt, og tro det krokka vil drepa meg. Hei fara, falter ildur
As you can see, being in the Jarl squad is not exactly a speaking part, but in addition to the Viking yells, they do sing songs as part of the procession. The procession goes down the Esplanade and around the market cross, which is right in front of the tourist office, and then back towards Alexandria Wharf, where the galley is in place for official photos. And then afterwards, the Jarl squad start their activities for the day, which includes such things as going to the town hall and drinking a toast of friendship to their friendship town in Norway. And the Jarl Squad is the galley being pulled by people. It is handmade, and this year's was called a Pettinger. And then there is the Junior Jarl Squad, who are secondary school students. They have their own head, the Junior Jarl. The Jarl Squad marches around the market cross where the proclamation for Up Hellya is placed, declaring that Up Hellya is happening. And then they go back through the town, followed by the bands. And along the way, they pick up the Junior Jarl Squad as well. As you can see, the streets are super narrow and lined with people watching the parade. Can you imagine how chaotic it would have been in the old days when they had flaming tar barrels going down these streets? Then it's time for official photographs because this event is worldwide news. So while the Jarl Squad is off doing important official things, what are we supposed to do during the day? Well, there's plenty in Lerwick to keep you busy. It is a charming little town to explore, full of nooks and crannies, and great stores and cafes. There's a great Shetland Museum by the harbour front, which shows you the history of Shetland as well as a little bit about Up Hellya. In front of the Shetland Museum, the Peary Galley, the Junior Jarl Squad's galley, is on display. Another thing to do is to check out the shop window displays. They show Up Hellya trappings from previous years, and there is a competition to see who has the best window displays. The stuff is really cool, and you can see how from year to year changes are made, and the designs are all very intricate. It's also cool to see the craftsmanship that is involved in the outfits. Next up, go shopping. There's lots of souvenirs you can buy and charming things to look for in the little stores, from vintage to new finds. My favorite was the Viking hat that I found. Number 5, do as the locals do early, or start the party early. Or try and find a cake fridge in Lerwick.
So we found our first cake fridge in Lerwick itself on St. Olaf Street, and it's closed. No.
The fiery sessions are traditional music concerts in the afternoon where the Junior Jarl Squad makes an appearance. Okay, so this video is getting a bit long, so I am going to split it into 2. And stay tuned for part 2, where we will look at the evening bonfire and the hall's festivities. So if you like this video, remember to click like, and if you would like to see more travel and travel adjacent content, remember to click subscribe. So see you soon for part 2. Bye-bye.